Very good morning to every one of you. Honorable Sri Shopan Devnath Ji, Honorable Minister of Animal Resource Development, Government of West Bengal, and Chief Guest of today's program, the members of the governing body of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Sri Sudhir Bhargava Ji, Sri Ratnesh Singh Ji, Sri Suresh Chandal Ji, the Secretary, Principal Secretary and also Agriculture Production Commissioner Telangana, Sri Partha Ji, Sri R.K. Sinha, Agriculture Production Commissioner and the Secretary, Government of West Bengal, Usarani Ji, DG Manage and also DG National Institute of Plant Health Management, Vice Chancellors of several universities, Professor Supan Datta, VC Vishwavarti, Dr. Vasupalak Ji, VC Orissa University of Agriculture and Technology, Dr. Patra, Vice Chancellor BCKV, Dr. Reddy, Vice Chancellor, Dr. YSRH University AP, Dr. V. Pravin Rao, Professor Jayasankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Hyderabad, my colleagues from the Council, all the Deputy Director Generals, the Assistant Director Generals, many other state officials who are present here, directors of ICAR institutes and heads of regional centers, the faculty and also members of different bodies, academic bodies of state agriculture universities who are present here, the scientists of this particular institute, and on dais, my colleague, DDG, Dr. Jena, Director of this institute, Dr. Rao, ADG, Dr. Kimoti, and Member Secretary, Dr. Suresh, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually a great pleasure and honor to welcome Sri Shopan Devnath Ji on my own personal behalf, on behalf of the Council. Sir, we are indebted to you for being kind to be present here and to spare your valuable time. In fact, your name is very popular, the first name, because of the other name, which is also present here, Dr. Shopan Datta, who also was Deputy Director General of Crop Science for more than 5 years at the headquarters. So you are not unfamiliar to us, your name at least. And today's function, in fact, highlights the importance the Government of West Bengal and particularly Honorable Chief Minister, Madam Mamata Banerjee, attaches to agriculture sector, agriculture and rural sector. And by virtue of your very presence, this is further emphasized and highlighted that agriculture and development in agriculture matters, and we are extremely happy to welcome you, sir, to this particular program. And this region too is the region having contrasts. And this contrast, as I go along, I'll highlight how we have really have not been able to address this contrast adequately. It's a great honor to have you as chief guest of this particular function, and I am sure your valuable guidance would certainly strengthen the agriculture research and development system in this particular region, very specifically ICAR and also its fraternity, the State Agriculture University system, and the agriculture research system in the country as a whole is very grateful to you for your kind gesture. I also heartily welcome the state government officials, particularly the production commissioners and principal secretaries, concerning very much with the agriculture research and development system, particularly from Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal, and other states which are actually included in this particular region. I wholeheartedly welcome all of you, and again, thank you very much for being here in this particular inaugural program, and I'm sure your cooperation would continue for both the days so that we have meaningful discussion and we come out with specific recommendations for addressing the issues concerning these states adequately. At the Council, we are concerned the disparity I was talking about, the contrast I was talking about that persists, particularly in this region, I would like to address. And this is one beautiful example that the central government and its arm, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, coming to the doorsteps of the user departments, knocking at their doors, insisting on that please tell us your problems so that we provide solutions. This is a unique mechanism which has been put in place at the council governing body level, that every 2 years we come to the grassroots level, to the states, and we go to different states in different years in the region and try to understand what is the problem. And in that context, this has a great relevance, and I do hope that the state officials would actually come out with issues that they are grappling with and which are awaiting solutions, which are challenges to be faced and squarely to be faced. And we are here to discuss them out, find solutions, and come back again after 2 years to understand whether we have succeeded, and you can evaluate us. And I would urge upon the state officials to actually utilize us to their advantage, to take this opportunity to their advantage, to grill us, whatever format, we are ready for that. We want ideas. We want challenges to be thrown at us. And this is what we are striving for, and we will continue striving for. So I thank both the secretaries and also other officials from the state and their other arms, the institutions located in the states. I also welcome other dignitaries, and particularly 3 governing body members. In fact, our first meeting was at Pantnagar. Honorable Governor of Uttarakhand inaugurated that. And Vice Chancellor, the G.B. Pant University, Dr. Mangla Rai, organized the whole thing. and Dr. Krishna Kumar was the nodal official from the council. It was again a 1.5-day program. We thought we will wind up in one day, but the second day it continued up to 1:30 again. So that suggested to us, rather revealed, that the intensity of interest continues and the problems are there to be addressed. And we are still finalizing our recommendations, and that was again a very successful program, and that all the 3 honored GB members were there and provided very valuable suggestions, and we are thankful to all the 3 of you for again being present here, and so kind of you, you have been guiding us immensely, and we are so grateful to you, and thank you very much. And again, I welcome on my own personal behalf, and also as DG of the Council and Secretary there, thank you very much once again. The Honorable Vice Chancellors, and in this region, I am told there are 11 agricultural universities. When I say agriculture, in a broader context, the animal husbandry, the fishery, the horticulture, all included. And in that context, in fact, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research was established. It doesn't exclude, when we say agriculture, it is animal agriculture, this is crop agriculture, horticulture agriculture, fishery agriculture, microbe agriculture, so all inclusive. So in that context we discuss, and we will continue discussing and emphasizing and re-emphasizing the point that agriculture has to be understood in that context. And the universities are represented by several vice chancellors who are present here. And in fact, the concept of having state agriculture universities is a very rich, kind of in terms of thought process, a very rich one. Having these state agriculture universities not just to address the issues of education, but also region-specific researchable issues to be addressed by state agriculture universities. And they are here, and I know they have been striving to address these regional problems over the years, in addition to addressing the issue of education, imparting quality education in the region. And then we have been also supporting these universities adequately to the extent possible. So I am appreciative of their presence and also their efforts that they make continuously. And very importantly, in this context today, that we have also Vishwabharati, which is represented by Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Swapan Datta Saab. And I do not know whether earlier occasions, Vishwabharati, particularly Police Shiksha Bhavan, which is very much involved in agriculture, education, and also the research, it's very much represented. So we are grateful to you for being present here. Maybe for the first time, I do not know, my colleagues would be able to correct me. And so that's a unique opportunity for us to interact with Vishwabharati and then see how best we can strengthen our relationships. And besides this, there are many others. Instead of continuing this welcome, I'd go to some of the issues and highlight some of the progress, so that the colleagues present in the inaugural session very specifically would be a bit informed about how we are actually dealing with this. Colleagues and friends, without going to specific names, I would prefer to go to the actual issues that we would like to deal with. As you all know, that despite, we are, past 2 years, we have been grappling with the droughts, consecutive droughts. And our production of actually food grains is stagnating for past 2 years, I would say. Although little bit 1 million tons this side or that side doesn't really matter, but around 252 to 253 million tons, that is where it is hovering, and has put us under severe stress. It doesn't mean that we don't have technologies. It means that we have climate resilient technologies, And by implementing those technologies, it has not gone down drastically, but we have been able to sustain it, retain it at the level of 252 million tons. And so that is one way taking credit. But the other way is that taking this challenge head on and working further to make it far more climate resilient, so that the drought or any other format of variation in climatic factors do not influence the production system so much, and so that our livelihood system is threatened in years to come. So this is one step, while taking credit for development and implementation and utilization of climate resilient technologies and varieties. We must be alive to this situation and then continue working in the direction of evolving technologies to meet these challenges in years to come. But in the front of horticulture, we have done exceedingly well and gone up to harvesting 280 million tons of horticultural products, including vegetables, fruits, and all that. So that's a kind of remarkable achievement at all India level. And on second in the world, I believe. And that is the one thing where we must take credit. While we must also see where we falter, but at the same time we must not lose sight of the achievement that we have squarely achieved and met. The requirements have been met the way we have met. And similarly, in terms of milk production, 15-16, I am told, the data says 160 million tons of milk, and so that is something remarkable. And our per capita availability is more than what WHO recommends, and that is something which is would not have happened without technology, and also the unique cooperative system in milk production and marketing. And thanks to everyone involved in this unique, that's a unique feat that we have attained and retained and continue to progress in that front. And more than 78 billions of eggs. And that is again another remarkable achievement. And 48 million kgs of wool and 10 million tons of fishes. So, and it continues. And there are many other achievements and manifold increase in all these products at the whole country level. And this is what puts us in a very comfortable position with regard to these commodities that I said. The food grains, which we are exporting, the milk, the horticulture produce, the eggs, and so on and so forth. Though there are deficiencies, and particularly with regard to pulses and oilseeds. The government of India is very much concerned that we have not been able to really address the requirements of pulses and oilseeds. More than 65,000 crores, if I am correct, and so this is what's a huge expenditure that we have in regard to import of pulses and oilseeds. But then, how we could achieve and attain, despite all these 2-3 sectors where we are lagging, we have been able to attain this. And besides this, our service through the institutes which are located here, I believe that there are, in this region, we have through these institutes, the universities and the regional centers, we have been able to develop 227 crop varieties. 227 crop varieties in this region. And also 201 horticulture varieties, the field crop varieties, and 201 horticulture varieties, and also 160 technologies in terms of production and technologies, particularly the natural resource management technologies, including soil mini labs. Today the emphasis by the government is soil testing, providing soil health cards, and these soil mini labs are providing opportunities and helps to create those situations and cards and provide them to the farmers. In fact, very important points, for the sake of farmers, which have emerged in this case is the climate resilient varieties of cereals and also pulses and oilseeds. 19 climate resilient varieties of cereals. I was talking of climate vagaries in this particular region. And similarly 20 pulse varieties and 24 oilseed varieties during these 2 years. So that's a very remarkable contribution in this particular region. And also 9,800 tons of breeder seed supplied by ICAR. And very importantly, in terms of nutrition, because in addition to productivity and production, we must address the nutritional aspects. And particularly in case of rice, 2 varieties, one enriched in protein, developed by National Rice Research Institute, Cuttack, and which was again that time Dr. Swapan Datta was DDG, and amply supported this particular program, pushed it, and today we have this variety. And also zinc rich variety developed by Directorate of Rice Research, Indian Institute of Rice Research rather, here at Hyderabad. There are 2 remarkable achievements in rice itself, because this region consumes quite a bit of rice. And the rice enriched for micronutrients and protein is a very significant contribution in these 2 years. And similarly, quality protein based hybrid, drought tolerant rice variety, which has been again in the IR64 background, which has been released this year, trypsin inhibitor free soybean lines, iron and zinc calcium rich finger millet lines, which have been developed and identified. So these are kind of some of the examples which I'm citing that the council, through its elaborate efforts, have been able to develop this. I must tell you, the other day I was mentioning in West Bengal in presence of Honorable Agriculture Minister that challenges are there to meet, but when we apply science and technology, particularly in the field of biological sciences, it's not easy that we will have solution overnight. It requires continued efforts for several years to reach at solutions. And my colleagues sitting here, I must congratulate all of you for being able to give these technologies to the country and to the poor farmers of this country, not just for production enhancement, productivity enhancement, but also for nutritional security of this country, and also climate resilience of this country. Very importantly, the NRRI has also developed one rice expert that very IT-enabled mobile application for providing rice-related solutions. So this is again a very important one, and many farmers have started using this. That's what I learned. And also, in case of horticulture, again a forecasting model, Indo blight cast or Julsa cast. This has been developed for potato to predict the fast appearance of late blight in this particular crop. So this is another significant development which will be helpful in managing the potato crop. The Krishi Vigyan Kendra, the Krishi Vigyan Kendras have been doing a wonderful job in terms of demonstrations, so that the technologies are popularized. And particularly in case of pulses, 60,000 demonstrations. And also in oilseeds, close to 29,000 demonstrations. So this is an enormous contribution in this particular region. And so including this region, of course, this is for the whole country. And also imparting soil health cards and also mobile soil testing machines to KVKs. Similarly, many other activities in which our Krishi Vigyan Kendras are involved. Through the insistence of Honorable Agriculture Minister, we initiated a unique program called Mera Gaon Mera Gaurav, enabling scientists, rather emphasizing that the scientists must reach the villages, interact with the farmers. And I must say that 10,000 villages have been adopted by the scientists of the National Agriculture Research System, and the scientists have visited, particularly during last year, because this is one-year program, and the scientists have visited and gone to the villages and talked to the farmers. Experiential learning units in the universities to enable students to learn, and while learning to earn, thanks to our education division, and that is during these 2 years, 58% increase in experiential learning centers. That's again, enabling entrepreneurship development, encouraging students to learn while working, while studying, and the intricacies of agricultural entrepreneurship development, and also how a small business can be run, can be developed, and the process also earned. So that's again a unique model that has been continuing, and there are many other things which I will not really go on repeating all those. And in case of agriculture engineering sector, we have provided 239 different technologies to this country. And in case of animal sciences sector, we have been able to provide 86 different technologies, a couple of new vaccines and diagnostics, and also improved poultry varieties. 3 of them, Kamarupa, Narmada Nidhi, Jharsim, a very important one, which have been developed and now available to the farmers. In fishery sector, again, 35 different technologies have been developed, including products, and these have been provided to different states and union territories. Very importantly, we have been able to establish sale lines with regard to 50 different species, and a very important one. So whether it is natural resource management, crop sector, animal science sector, horticulture sector, fishery sector, all the sectors, we have been able to provide technologies and products oriented at providing specific solutions to the problems being faced by the country, and that includes this particular region. I was talking about our universities, that is, and institutes. We have 17 institutes in this region, very well represented actually, and also amply represented actually. A very strong presence of the council in this region, and also in addition to these 2 agricultural technology, assessment and then improvement and transfer centers, which we call ATARI. There are 2 of them here located in this region. There are 11 state agriculture universities, 29-30 regional centers, and several Krishi Vigyan Kendras, I believe 88 or even more than 88, maybe new ones that are still there. So what we are doing, these Krishi Vigyan Kendras and Agriculture Technology Information Centers and ATARIs, they have been able to provide, because this is what is very, very important, reaching the farmers. They have been able to provide advisory services on various aspects of crop production, nursery management, efficient use of plant nutrients, the management of orchards, medicinal plants, floriculture, vegetable seed production, post-harvest technologies, livestock management and marketing, institutional finance and issues related to farm, women, and agribusiness incubation. So it covers whole gamut of issues which are being dealt by our Krishi Vigyan Kendras, which are located in addition to technology which we are providing. So these are the kind of activities in very brief which we are actually doing. In addition to this, this region is very well represented with regard to crops. For instance, rice, which is a major crop in this region, sorghum, bajra, maize, pulses in eastern India is also a matter of concern, and sugarcane, cotton, jute, potato, and all these are being addressed in this region. But while we take credit for production and productivity enhancement in this region, but we have serious challenges to be faced. For instance, West Bengal does exceedingly well and #1 in production with regard to rice. But if you compare with Odisha, it lags behind very, very significantly. It was below 2 tons per hectare for quite some time, and some years it crosses 2 tons per hectare, while West Bengal is more than 2.5 tons per hectare. That's the rice, not paddy. So this is what, below national average. The Odisha lags much behind. The AP does quite well, but Odisha is lagging behind, and this is a matter of concern. And similarly, if you see Odisha's production and productivity in many other crops and commodities is far behind. It's a serious concern, and Odisha is a serious concern. And I do not know whether state government officials are present here from Odisha, anybody. But I believe that the university is represented. But the state that needs most is sometimes I believe they are least represented in such meetings where they are actually required to actually interact and extract as much as possible from us, the council. And similarly, there are many other issues. I will not really go into those specific ones, but the Telangana, for instance, they are doing wonderfully well. The universities are located here, which are providing, for instance, in terms of varieties. DRR is very much located here. In terms of quality planting material, and also, for instance, I say 3.68 lakh quality planting material have been provided, and similarly 185 units of agricultural implements and 22.26 lakhs of chicks that have been provided by our institutes and universities in Telangana itself. And similarly, I don't want to really go into every state. I was talking about Odisha. We have been able to provide 29 new varieties to Odisha. They must be able to take advantage of these new varieties. And 9,250 quintals of quality seed, 31 lakhs of quality planting material have been provided by the ICR research system and the state agriculture university system together to the state. And similarly, 22,584 soil samples and 1,535 water samples have been tested by the KVKs of the Odisha and then provided to the farmers. And so on and so forth. I don't want to really bother you with data, but there is so much of information available, so much of highlighting, so much has been done. I would like to highlight about Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I believe it is represented by their officials here. And this is a small island, but then this institute, our ICAR institute located, CIARI, located in Andaman Nicobar Island, has developed very, many different varieties. For instance, 2 rice varieties, variety number 9 and 8, moong varieties, 3 of them, amaranthus variety, 2 of them. And there are several other, in fact, which have been developed. The kind of activities which the center is doing to address the specific issues of Andaman Nicobar Islands, that's praiseworthy, and I believe that the island would be able to take advantage of these technologies which have been developed. The contribution continues, and to cut the story short, I will come to the specific issues which are to be addressed in this 2 days deliberation. And I have a strong opinion that the convergence of different departments, whether it is central government departments or the state government departments or the universities or the institutions, everybody, and even non-government organizations and private entities who are located in this particular region have to join hands and come together. Even international centers, the CG centers which are located here. And I do find that they do work in isolation. Having worked in isolation for so many years, they have not been able to provide the solutions that this country needs. And this can be noted in our proceedings. For instance, XXIII is here, a very strong presence, but the country imports and spends a huge amount with regard to pulses. Though XXIII has to work very specifically on pulse improvement and production and development activities, and we have not been able to work together and deliver. And this is one serious concern, and we need to really address this. And and also they are going straight away to the state government to interact and do something. And at times without consulting the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. And this is a matter of concern and needs to be really noted and has to be addressed at the appropriate level. And similarly, the International Rice Research Institute, having office here in ICAR-NAARM, and also working very actively in the country. But the issues and problems of, for instance, I said, in Odisha, for instance, is still is there. And there are direct interactions between international organizations and the state governments. And without involving sometimes the institutes, ICAR institutes, which are located in the region. This is a matter of a concern, I think, and we are spending, the state governments are spending huge amounts by way of these collaboration with the CG centers. And so that needs to be really addressed and discussed out, and then see how best. And we are here to provide solutions. We come to your doorsteps, and you have least reaction to that. Instead, you prefer to interact with the CG centers. And I am very open on this. And let us discuss the problems that you face. And if I fail to provide solutions, and that's what I say, we can together work instead of working in isolation. And that is a very important point that should be noted and to be discussed as we go along. And in this particular region, we must be able to address the cost of cultivation, because Honorable Prime Minister has given a clarion call that we must increase the farmers' income, rather double it. And when we think of doubling farmers' income in this particular region, where we have very significant presence of small and marginal farmers. For the whole country, more than 80%, and I was told in West Bengal itself, more than 90% are small and marginal farmers. So given this scenario, and we must actually work in this direction. This is a very big challenge, which we have identified this, and the state governments can provide their inputs, and we can still modify what and add on to these challenges, which we are already discussing at the council level. So how to really improve income of the farmers? Reducing the cost of cultivation by employing technology to improve productivity first of all, and also reducing the labor cost and input cost in the process. So can we really do this? And we should be able to do this once we promote the technologies which are available at least with us, and also develop newer technologies which are required by the farmers. And similarly, one sector we are discussing in West Bengal, sir, the jute sector. And jute sector is facing tough challenges from other sectors. And we have Jute Technology Institute in Kolkata itself, and we had elaborate discussion on this aspect and how to really capitalize on the kind of expertise which is available and improve upon the technology in the jute sector so that we compete with other fiber sectors, so that the natural fiber technology are promoted, and they are able to compete out the other entities which are there. So this is one challenge that we recognize. And then I was telling that the climate, the vagaries of climate in this particular region. Every year, the cyclone, the drought, the flood, and so on and so forth, and bringing in huge damage not only to field crops, the horticulture crops, even animal and fishery sectors are also negatively impacted by these natural calamities. And how to really meet these? Particularly, in case of rice, we have, as I said, one or two, few climate resilient varieties which have been developed, and there is the requirement to work more on this. For instance, submergence tolerance. We have one, Swarna Savan, to rely on. And there are many in the pipeline, I must say, but we have to accelerate this so that we have more number of varieties to take care of different kind of specific soil types and also situations in this region. The horticulture sector, the productivity is low. For instance, in case of mango, guava, sapota, and grapes, the productivity is stagnating, and we should be able to address this. And then similarly, lack of quality planting material. It's a big constraint. And we have been doing this, as I said, lakhs and lakhs of quality planting material we have been producing. In fact, we are not supposed to do that. Only minimum quantity that we produce for our experimental fields will be able to supply that. That's what we are doing. The state governments have to really adequately address these, take the technology which is available with us, take the expertise that is available with us, and we are free here to provide that without charging anything in terms of technology, knowledge, imparting. In terms of imparting knowledge, we have no hesitation, and this is all free. And similarly, in the fishery sector, for instance, we were talking about Bihar yesterday, but in Odisha, for instance, the open waters, the fish population has a decline. And we have tremendous opportunities in this region to improve upon this. And it's a great challenge, but still, given the strong presence in the form of institutes and also the regional centers in this region, in this particular segment of the region of the country, we should be able to address this. Though we have been able to develop the breeding technologies. In fact, the very successful one, the recent one is, Sir, Hilsa breeding. Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal emphasizes repeatedly that can we produce adequate number of amount of Hilsa. And so far, it was a very difficult challenge to meet. And my scientist colleagues, they have, past 3 years, they have been working on a project, and they have been able to succeed at least partially. Because it's a challenge, and challenge still remains, and they have brought Hilsa from the river, and they are able to culture there in ponds, and there is 30% survival. And I'm sure they'll be able to improve upon this. The small fish also. So Hilsa was a big challenge, and small fish sector is also another area to work on. So maybe with your guidance, we'll be able to address those issues in a better way. So this is another area where my scientist colleagues, I must congratulate them. And similarly, there are many other areas where they are, but still, Hilsa challenge still remains. That we should be able to complete this by end of 5 years and replicate that in ponds of the farmers. And if you can do that, that will be a very big challenge in time to come. And and then we have also other problems, and West Bengal we are mentioning that in terms of transboundary movement of material, and in the process and live material like seeds and animals and fish, we are prone to transfer of diseases. And like, for instance, recently what was being found in West Bengal is blast disease in case of wheat, to the extent of 90% damage recorded in wheat in Bangladesh. And we are bordering the West Bengal, and some of these districts we have to be very careful, and then through elaborate monitoring we should ensure that we don't get this disease, and which is so devastating in the country. So rice blast has been there, but now we have the danger of the wheat blast entering this country. And similarly, animal diseases and zoonotic diseases, very serious ones, might get entry. So we have to be vigilant. And West Bengal particularly, sir, is very much important to be mentioned. And so through surveillance system and monitoring system, we must see that we must ensure that we don't really get them in the country. And similarly, sir, with regard to organic farming, I learned that Andhra Pradesh, the new government is emphasizing, putting considerable emphasis on promoting organic agriculture. In fact, the central government, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Agriculture Minister, they keep emphasizing on organic farming. And Paramparagat Krishi Yojana is in fact promoting organic agriculture. And the state of the Sikkim has been already declared as an organic state, and a new institution of ICAR, National Organic Farming Institution, is declared to be located in Sikkim. Given this, we are here to promote, but it has to be science-based, and we have to do a lot more science with regard to organic agriculture. And sectorally, regionally we have to see where, in which sector, which crop, which region we must promote organics. And this needs to be really worked out. My colleagues from the council and also the universities and state officials should sit together and see where to promote and what research. We have already identified some issues, but more can be identified and then addressed. Water is plenty in this region, but we have drought and flood every year. We have not been able to really, utilize the tremendous strength this region has with regard to water. We have to improve water productivity. My colleague from Water Institute is here from Bhubaneswar, and they have plans, but I believe that state-specific plans with regard to enhancing water productivity, I think this is of paramount importance to see that we succeed and very efficiently we utilize the water resources which are available. The rainwater, most of it goes to the sea through runoff, and very little even goes down, and we have to have adequate water harvesting structures where the state governments have to play a very important role to recharge the underground system. And because we see in summer season, even the underground water is not adequately available for irrigation. And this is a serious concern, and this needs to be addressed. The climate is changing, as I say, and the climate resilient agriculture I emphasized often. And my colleague from CRIDA, they have developed the contingency plans for every district. And they have been actually modified. And this is time to implement them and then see the benefits accruing to the beneficiaries. And given that this year is going to be more rainfall, how to really address these? For instance, we want to improve pulse production. That is what the central government wants, so that we don't import so much of pulses. The Kharif pulses, for instance, and there will be water stagnation. And because of water stagnation, we might have lesser production. And this we have to adequately address. I know, for instance, the other day we are discussing if we have a region furrow system in case of pulses and implement this. I do not know how many states have recommended this. Sow them in ridges, and so that the water doesn't really negatively impact pulse production, and particularly in the Kharif season, particularly the soybean, for instance, and also though it is not a pulse crop, the soybean and also the arahar. In Kharif season, and then the subsequent ones, because the rainfall is going to be extended beyond these 3 months. So if that happens, the Rabi pulses might also be getting affected. So we have to have adequate measures, and my colleagues and the state governments, we need the help of state governments. Without their cooperation, and we will not be able to implement anything. The climate resilient agriculture requires implementation of these contingency plans, which have been so scientifically discussed and made. And if there are requirements of further discussion, we are ready to go there to your states and then sit with you, discuss with you, even district-wise, we can discuss and then see how best we can implement this. And friends and colleagues, I have taken a lot of time, and not just by telling what we have done nationally and also regionally, but also highlighted some of the challenges that we perceive that they are there for this region, and we are working in that direction. But we will be extremely happy to know the problems from you when we go to a very intense discussion in subsequent sessions, and then for today and tomorrow, and work out action plans, very specific ones, so that they are implemented. And I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to you, sir, although the formal vote of thanks will be there for being here, and everyone, particularly the GB members, honorable GB members being here, the honorable vice chancellors who are here, and the other staff and faculty of the state agriculture universities, the directors of deans of research and deans of agriculture, and others, and state government officials, others who are present, in addition to 2 secretaries who are present here, and my other colleagues, and the Krishi Vigyan Kendra, the Ataris, and everybody, my colleagues from the council. I thank all of you for being here, and also more importantly, what I expect is intense discussion involving all stakeholders and if there are some from city centers, it's most welcome. I should be able to contribute to what we are discussing, and also the non-government organizations and even some farmers who are present here will take their views, and so that we are able to take all issues together, and so that our action plans are based on those requirements of this particular region. So I will appreciate the response from all the state departments for active participation and flagging the problems of the region to be taken up for research in future, and also for developmental activities in the region. It would be our responsibility to identify the gaps based on the inputs provided by you in research and development for formulating appropriate programs, the programs which are most suited to your situations and which would cater to the needs of this particular region. And with this, I thank you very much for being here, and Jai Hind.